This is the LeDrew 3-minute interview. I'm with John Tory, the Mayor of the City of Toronto. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for coming in. We are sitting in a bar called Secret, which is above a restaurant called George. Patios are open. People are flocking to the patios. Was that a hard decision for you to come to as to when you allow freedom of people to go around?
Well, we came to it with the provincial government, and the answer was yes. It was hard because people were saying they were ready and they wanted to go have a drink, and they know how short the season is here. But patios, by definition, are a crowd scene, even with the new measures in place. And so we knew that crowd scenes were places where the virus spreads. So the fact it was outdoor, that they put rules in place saying the tables have to be separated from each other by 2 meters, and a lot of other laneways that have you coming and going and not running into other people, made it okay once the numbers got better.
Do you anticipate, as they have in other jurisdictions, some blowback to providing information if there is a spike, so they'll know where it came from and who people were in contact with?
I suspect there'll be people who will show up at the door of a patio, as I did a few days ago, and the first thing they say to you before they even let you pass the door is they've got an iPad there and they say, "What's your name and telephone number?" And I think there's a lot of people who will say, well, I'm not sure I want to tell you that I'm here at this bar at this time, or I don't want to give you my name generally, but they're required to take the name of every person that's there, every customer, so that they have a record in the event somebody comes down with COVID-19 and they can get in touch.
And they bar entrance if you don't.
Well, I didn't test the system. I gave them my name
They
and
knew
phone
you were
number,
there.
But you know, I think they probably would. And that's the way it has to be. That's the trade-off between having the patios open at a time when there are still cases very actively in the city and you know, not having it open.
Let's talk about your position as mayor and that trade-off, because you read all around the world, jurisdictions, when they are fighting COVID, they say it's a balancing act between thwarting liberty, the ability to go out and have a drink or have a meal in a restaurant and other things, sports events, and to thwart COVID. And do you think you got that balance right?
I think so, but I mean, you heard from both sides every day. So I would have, when it came to the bylaw that said people had to keep 2 meters apart from each other in the parks, I had the head of the Civil Liberties Association saying we were running a police state. And then I had a commentator on a radio station well known to us all tell me that we weren't handing out enough tickets. How could you possibly be serious about this if you're not giving everybody a ticket? So you have to sort of do your best to put the law in place and have the measure there and have a number of enforcement people out trying to educate people is what they really tried to do. They educated hundreds of people but gave very few tickets, as against the notion of giving the tickets. And the same trade-off happens with the economy. When you open the patios, yes, it's going to make a big positive contribution to the economy and to the survival of businesses. But on the other hand, it does provide a crowd scene. In Ottawa, I was told, for example, in the first days of patios, people would, after about an hour of having a few liquid refreshments, they would stand up, push all the tables together and create a crowd scene. So it defeats the whole purpose of the physical distancing. So that's the trade-off again, though, economy versus good health. And you can't really make a trade-off. You have to opt in favor of good health.
And good judgment.
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, thanks very much.
Thank you.
That's a 3-minute interview. Thank you for watching. We have many more interviews like that in production. We are going to be having the interviews that you will not see on the mainstream media. If you like it, please subscribe. The LeDrew 3-minute interview.